I did have a good, I did have a good rib story I could have told you, but it would have been dirty. You asked earlier about a rib story. Probably one of the greatest ribs I've seen, and I never played the ribs on people, but probably one of the greatest ribs I've seen. We're on an international trip. Okay, on international trips, catering is done. So we eat before the show. Okay, so everyone comes in, we eat, and then we're allowed to also prepare a little silver container of food, okay, that we can take back to the hotel room after the show. Because on international shows, we get done very late. By the time you get back to the hotel, it's late. Barry Horowitz. Everyone knows Barry Horowitz, always tapping his back, always been at WWF. Well, Barry Horowitz had, for several days there, he was taking advantage. And the office had said, don't take advantage of it, take a small container back home, but, be polite, don't take tons of food back to your room. Well, Barry Horowitz was taking 2 or 3 steaks and pasta back to his, ordering it after every show. So the 2 people that noticed this going on was Davey Boy and Lex Luger. So what they did is they decided, well, okay, we're going to fix him. So what you did is you made a little silver container, okay, and you left it with the cooks, and while we were wrestling, they would prepare your food. And you'd have your name on top, so you knew it was your container. So they went in there when everyone was wrestling, when all the food was already in the container. They took the container, okay, which had Barry Horowitz's name, and they took the food out, and I won't be graphic here, but they did something inside of that food, okay, which very bad, toxic waste, human waste underneath the food, okay, put the food back on top of it, okay, and then sealed it all back up. So here we are all sitting there, okay, and it starts going through the locker room to certain people what had happened, okay. So as I was coming into the eating area after the show, here's Barry Horowitz, and he picks up his container, and he feels like it's real heavy, and you can see him smiling and being happy. So then he goes to sit down at the table, and he's going to eat there before we leave, because we're waiting for people to take showers and finish up. So here he is. He takes a fork and he digs it down in and gets a big thing on his fork, and he comes up to here. When he gets it close to him, he smells a little bit different smell, and he drops the food, and all the guys I knew started laughing. So that was probably one of the greatest, worst ribs that I ever seen in my history of being a WWF.